how can she send quality messages and that she's having issues with asking questions. Now,
yeah, it's heavy.
Artlist.io.
Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck, self-respect.
hey guys, welcome back to another mini series. It's your girl Orphea, and I'm back at you with another video. Of course, like I said, it's a mini series, and these mini series are aimed towards answering questions in a more precise manner rather than you having to wait on that long extended vlog that I usually do, my weekly vlogs. All right, so again, if you cannot afford coaching, go ahead and put your comments in the comment section down below as to what you want to know. Be as detailed as possible as you can in your questioning so that I can answer them in one of these mini series that I have now started. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. So the question that was asked from one of our new subscribers was, well, she said she was watching my videos and she wanted to know how can she send quality messages and that she's having issues with asking questions. Now, for this type of response, normally I would say book coaching. That way I can assist you more. I can get a little bit more into your personality and tell you what you're doing wrong. But for the sake of this, those out there who is not able to book coaching or afford coaching, this is a video that is very general that I hope will be concise and precise in answering that very question. Now, I've also answered this question in a little bit more detail with a little bit more visual on my Patreon. If you want to see that, go ahead and sign up for my Patreon. The video is attached to my Patreon. You will get to watch the video in Patreon so that you can get the visual, the examples, and actually watch me handle some of these messages. You'll get that on Patreon. So go ahead, sign up for Patreon. Now, what I do as it relates to responding to questions is you have to, once you've read the message, you have to read the message for one. And the tools that I normally use, which I have a video already that talks about the different tools that I use when I'm texting. The tools that are most important in this case would be read aloud and voice to text. So that way you can speak and text. Well, no, not two tools, three tools. I'm sorry, three tools that you'll need. You'll also need Grammarly. So Grammarly, voice to text, and read aloud. Now, you do not need voice to text. You can just go ahead and type it, especially if you're in an app or you're on a platform that doesn't allow you to do that, because some of these texting platforms does bar you from using voice to text, and you definitely have to type it. So the two most important tools is back to Grammarly and read aloud. Those are not blocked. Now, the read aloud app allows you to listen to what is being said, so it will give you the illusion like it's a conversation that you have going on. One. Now, once you have listened and you have went ahead and record all the details that you need to record in the area in which you have recorded, then there goes to the part where you need to respond. Now, when you're responding, in order to send quality messages and answer and send quality questions, what I suggest you do is, once you have downloaded Grammarly, you can do one of two things. You can do what I do, or you can do what other people would normally do. Some people do it, not all. But I would recommend that if you're not as versed in the whole language, what you should do is pay for the Grammarly subscription. Now, once you pay for the Grammarly subscription, any errors that come up, Grammarly will show you the error and show you the correction to those errors, every single one of them. once you pay for the subscription. Now, if you do not pay for the subscription, which you can get Grammarly for free and don't pay for a subscription, what it will do, it will only show you the errors and it will only correct the errors that are in red. So the free version of Grammarly only corrects spelling and a few punctuations. And the paid subscription corrects all of that for you. So if you want to get away from the stress and the headache and you're with a very strict company, I suggest that you go ahead and pay for Grammarly to make it easier on you. So that's how you go ahead and you send quality messages. Now, one of the things that I need us to look at, I need to look at what is a quality message. A quality message includes you making sure that your spelling is correct and your punctuations are on point, and that the words, the sentence that you put together makes sense. Which, if you're putting together a sentence, it should make sense, because that's the very definition of a sentence, right? Putting a few words together that makes sense, right? So once you have those down pats and you have the understanding of what is required of you to send a quality message, then you can go into the other structure of sending your messages. So first thing you need to do, understand what a quality message is, and what these sites are looking for is to make sure that you have your correct punctuation marks, you put your punctuations where they're supposed to be, you have your questions, always have a question, you have your questions, and you have your capital letters where they need to be, right? Now, we've understand that that's the basics of English, right? Now, we do understand that based off our own vernaculars and how we speak to each other, we don't usually use standard English, right? So we will be a little bit off, and that's where Grammarly comes in. Grammarly will go ahead and show you your errors. Now, like I said, Grammarly will show you the errors once they're in red. They will show you where it's at and will give you the correction for it. But Grammarly will also prompt you when your error is in the yellow. Now, once your error is in the yellow, that means that there's a punctuation missing somewhere, or something in your message just does not make sense. Somewhere along in your sentence, there's just something that does not, click, right? So that's when you need to correct that. And what I would suggest that you do if you're on the free Grammarly is go ahead, highlight everything that you have typed, and let the computer play it back to you, and you listen to it back and listen to see if it makes sense, right? Listen if it's running for too long, or if there's a part where you could have had a punctuation mark, like a full stop or an a comma that you have missed, right? And you, of course, you always need to have a question in there as well in order to continue. The next thing that you can do, like I said, the next step you can do is skip all of that and just pay for the subscription of Grammarly. Once you pay for the subscription of Grammarly, Grammarly not only tells you or prompts you that there's an error, it corrects it. Because sometimes the circle, it's not yellow or mustard color. Sometimes it's purple, and you don't even know what the purple is. The purple could be like, it sounds okay, but it's too worded, or somewhere along that lines, right? That's basically what it does. So Grammarly has different colors, but the only color that the free Grammarly corrects for you is when it's in red. If it goes yellow or purple, you're on your own, right? You want to make sure that that little Grammarly circle is always in green. Grammarly should always be in green. Once it's green, it means that you are good to go. Your sentence makes sense. You have your punctuation mark. That's how you know. So say you go for the free part of Grammarly and it comes up yellow. Then what you should do is just delete everything. If you can't pay for the subscription, just delete everything to be on the safe side, and then just say it sentence by sentence, and then you will catch where your error is at. So yeah, that's basically my tip on how to send quality messages and ask quality questions in terms of sending it out to in terms of responding to your messages. One of the things that I almost skipped over was the questioning part of it. Like sometimes people run out of questions, and I get that because there are times when I feel like I'm running out of questions too. What I do is I read what the person has said to me, and whatever they said to me, then that's how I base my question. I base my question based off something that they said. That way, one, it gives the impression that I am listening, I am reading, I am paying attention to the conversation, and I am following along. Now, you would say, what if they just send an emoji? Then send a question based off the emoji. Like, if they send, like, a kiss emoji, where would you want me to put those lips? Or where have those lips been? Or when was the last time you used those lips? Or can I put those lips on my blank, blank, blank? You know, so many questions I just spit out a while ago, and you can find different ways of terming those questions as well. Next is so I've covered if they sent an emoji. Say they send a drooling emoji, same thing applies. Heart eye emoji, same thing applies. Heart emoji, same thing applies. In terms of how you go ahead and you ask questions based off, what does this mean? Should I take it that you think that I'm this? Should I take it that that's how you go ahead and you deal with those messages. But for the most part, when they have a lengthy message, there's just so much to pick out of it that you can ask a question. Sometimes they will ask you a question, you respond to that question, and then ask it back to them. You know, so that's how I handle coming up with new messages each time, just by paying attention to whatever the message is that they sent. And I hope this little mini series help you guys so much as it relates to responding to your messages, sending quality messages, and asking quality questions. Any questions, again, please go ahead, don't hesitate to put it in the comment section down below. Be as detailed as you can in your questions. If you don't want to do that in the comment section down below, always hit me up on Instagram, and just go ahead and follow me on all social media across the board, and that way you can keep up with what I'm doing. And yeah, that's it, guys. Love you guys so much. Until the next mini series, I'll talk to you guys. Bye.